just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through. Woo, woo, ooh, 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 ooh. I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling.
Welcome to week 2 of a Holly Dolly Advent. In this second week of Advent, we heard John the Baptist on Sunday proclaiming through the words of Isaiah that a Messiah is coming. The voice of one crying out in the wilderness, "Prepare the way of the Lord. Make his paths straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be made low." When I hear these words of Isaiah spoken by John the Baptist, in my mind I hear Handel and the Messiah. I also hear Dolly Parton. This week's song from Dolly is "Travelin' Through." Her second Oscar nomination, the first from 9 to 5. She didn't win either time. It's a travesty, but we'll talk about that another time. "Travelin' Through" is a song written for the film Transamerica, a song in the early 2000s, or movie in the early 2000s, about a transgender woman. The song has themes of not feeling like you belong, feeling like I haven't arrived where I'm gonna be. Life is a journey. An old cliche, but a true one. And Advent is also a journey where we are in the midst of something, but we haven't quite yet arrived. John the Baptist comes to proclaim the way. He comes to say there is one coming, and we need to prepare. It feels like we're in a wilderness, but in this wilderness place, God is going to create a highway. The mountains that seem insurpassable, God's going to bring down, and those valleys that seem too low, God's going to lift up. We're traveling through this. In Dolly's song, she talks about how we've all been crucified and they nailed Jesus to a tree, and when I'm born again, there's going to be a change in me. Episcopalians aren't used to talking about being born again, but that is what's happening, not only to us, but to all of the creation. The creation is being remade in God's image. The effects of sin that are throughout this world are being changed. I love this idea of being born again that Dolly marries with the journey of a trans woman in this film. This woman is reborn. She's born into her true self, who she was made to be. And I think for many of our trans siblings, that's such a difficult journey. The world forces one way on when they say, no, I'm another way. Non-binary people who live in this in-between place and actually have so much to teach us, just as the dawn and the dusk have much to teach us about what happens between light and dark. Advent is a season where the days are growing shorter and shorter, until we get to that time of year when the light starts to grow. And so when it seems dark, we just know we're on the cusp of light coming. We know that we're traveling through as God transforms this way. And as Christians, we are called, like John the Baptist, to proclaim change is coming. God made me for a reason, and nothing is in vain. Redemption comes in many shapes with many kinds of pain. But that pain is for a season. This Advent, how are you traveling through? What are your hopes and dreams for the future? How is God calling you to live more fully into God's dream for the earth?
I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through. Woo, woo, ooh, ooh, ooh.